So, hello everybody. Welcome to Wealth Wednesday with Walter, also known as the Candle Man. I don't know what's up with Donovan and Walter. They have these. Well, I guess I have one too, the Master Debater. So, well, who am I to talk? But anyway, it is
Mhm.
Wealth Wednesdays where we talk about money, how to make it, how to keep it, and everything in between. Of course, we like to start off with something trending just to get the party started. And today, it's going to be talking about money. In fact, we're going to be talking about Jay Z and the infamous question that has circulated the internet for quite some time now. Well, Jay Z has answered the question himself. So we'll get into that. But I must say that the purpose of the Demetri K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. So once again, I'd like to thank Walter for being here. He has been in the financial services industry for nearly 30 years, if not longer. He has helped many people, including celebrities and everybody in between, and just everyday people, and to help make their financial life better. So, of course, if you guys have questions, please do not hesitate to throw them in the comment section. We, mostly he, will do his best to answer those questions. Again, I want to say too that we are not licensed, licensed. So these are answers that what we would do, right? So you can act accordingly on that. I'd like to say a big giant thank you and welcome to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you just viewers, but we do share the link so you can come up and ask a question, express yourself, or whatever it is. All I ask is that if I have not seen you on here before, that you show me your face before I bring you up to the big screen. That way I can make sure there's no shenanigans going on. Also, please try to make your commentary brief so that way everybody else can have a chance to speak as well. We won't be on here for the full 2 hours today, as Walter is very busy and he has something to do, but we'll be here about an hour and a half. All right. And so hello to Black America and Troy. What's going on with you? Willie, how you doing? I see you got a whole bunch of emojis going on. I hope you're doing all right. Looks like you're thinking, you're concerned and you don't care, and you're happy and then you're laughing. So those are all the emojis that I see. But nevertheless, Walter, how are you today before we get started?
I'm good, good. Just sitting here working on 50 million things. But I do like the topic. I do like Jay Z, so I'm interested to see this video.
All right. Now, Brother Reggie, how are you doing? Are you still in Tokyo? Ashley, how are you doing? And Sister Donna, how are you doing? Would you like me to send you a link so you can join us? Matter of fact, I'll do that in just a second, just in case you want to join us. And so, matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that. Walter, you got anything interesting you want to say while I am sending Donna the link?
No, I'm cool right now.
You're supposed to say, yeah. That's what you're supposed to do, like a little tap dance, sand dance, so I
Oh,
could.
I'm looking at real estate in
So
Spain.
you could fill in the blanks.
Oh, nah, I'm looking for real estate in Spain. Get my
That's all
ass.
right. You too slow. Okay, I got it. Brother Reggie say, my good brother Walter, clean your camera lens. Yes, a little bit foggy.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's like I don't know if you're trying to do that. You're trying to be mysterious or what? What's going on here?
No, I'm trying to reduce the shine. Hey, let me clean it.
Okay, yeah, do you? What? Oh, okay. So anyway, all right. So as soon as he comes back, I'll go ahead and put the video up. I was just trying to give everybody else a chance to come on here because I know what's gonna happen. People are gonna say, "What are we talking about? I didn't see the video." So anyway, I sent Donna the link, so if she wants to come up, she can. And of course, I will send you guys the link as we progress throughout the show. And as I said, if you have any questions, please throw them in the comment section so that we could try our best to answer them. All right. So I would say within the last couple of years or so, Jay Z, of course, I don't need to introduce him to y'all. He's Beyonce's husband. How about that? I'm just kidding. Y'all know who Jay Z is. Jay Z is very wealthy, for lack of better words, due to a whole bunch of things, including music, real estate, artwork, you name it. He's with the NFL, just so you can anything you can think of, and plus his wife just released a brand new perfume that's going for about $160. So I don't know, but anyway, they are making the money between the both of them. So anyway, there was a question going around the internet for the last couple of years, and it basically went like, what would you rather do? Would you rather take $500,000, or would you rather go to lunch with Jay-Z so you can pick his brain or whatever and ask him questions and see, I guess if he can teach you the game, right, of how to be wealthy? Well, my hand is itching. Don't they say when your hand is itching, you're supposed to be coming into some money? I claim it, I receive it. Yes, Lord. Anyway, let me put this up here. I'm tripping. So y'all can see what he actually said. Here we go.
$500,000 in cash or lunch with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Which would you choose?
You gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say? Yeah, I mean everything that I'm gonna say.
No, only because people say, of course you take lunch with Jay-Z because the wisdom that you would get from him would be so beneficial to you that it would only be a matter. You would take the money?
Yeah, because you got all that in the music for $10.99. That's a bad deal. I wouldn't tell you to cut a bad deal. Like
I don't
take
know.
the $500,000, go buy some albums and listen to the albums. It's all there. If you piece it together and really listen to the music for the words, for what it is, it's all there. Everything that I said was gonna happen. Everything that I said I wanted to do, I've done. And there's the blueprint. The blueprint literally to me and my life and my journey is there already.
All right. So as y'all saw, that of course was Jay-Z. He was sitting there with Gayle King and they were conducting an interview, or she was conducting an interview with him. Who else came on here? Black America, you say you taking the money. Brother Reggie said if your palm is itching, put that hand in your pocket, claim that money. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, got you. Love to love you. How you doing? You said you gonna take the money too. And Brother Reggie said you taking the money. So everybody is taking the money. So of course that was him again with Gayle King, and she asked him the question, and we've seen a lot of people, answer it. And surprisingly, a lot of people's like, man, I go to launch with Jay-Z because the information he's giving you is more valuable. But of course, as he said, man, I done told y'all the game and all of my albums, it's all there. And he said he personally would be taking the money. So Walter.
No, I'll take the money. First of all, if you got $500,000 and you earned it, you probably already need what you need to know. Because if you double that a couple times and put it wherever you probably got it from in the first place, you'd be straight. But Jay-Z does have a point. He does. If you listen to his music, he talks about all this stuff. What up, Donna? Jay-Z talks about all this stuff. Like buying art, I bought art for $1 million, flipped it to $2 million, now it's worth $4 million. I mean, he does all that stuff. He talks about making money, cutting it up. Like, he's right. I'll take the money all day. What else we talking about today? What's the next subject?
Really?
I'll take the money.
Donna, you taking the money or you taking the meeting? Oh, hold on. Let me unmute you. Okay, there you go.
I'm taking the money. And this was before he even made that comment, because from my stance, I get a lot of people that want to take me to lunch or take me to dinner to pick my brain. And I always say my brain is worth a lot more than the price of lunch or dinner. So you're assuming that you're going to go to dinner and this man's going to tell you something valuable. I take the money.
Yeah, he probably going to want to eat. He probably going to be hungry.
I see everybody saying that they take the money. Troy says take the money, get the wisdom elsewhere. And everybody saying salute to Donna. Yes, indeed. And Brother Samuel, how are you doing? You called me last night, but I was gotta call me earlier. But I didn't call you back today because I know you're busy. So whenever you get a chance, call me. To me, I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe somebody is finding value in, or maybe they just think it's more valuable to be with Jay-Z, hang out with Jay-Z, have lunch with him. Because we also saw a video of him not too long ago where he said a cousin asked him at, I guess, a family function for $4,500 or $4,800, something like that. And he told him, no, and everybody kind of dragged Jay-Z because he says, when I go to grandma's house or whatever, I'm there like everybody else. I'm one of the cousins. I'm going to have the stuffing and the turkey. I'm not there for people to be, hey, man, let me holler at you. So, Jay-Z, I guess what he's saying is, I'm just like everybody else. Like, I would take the money. There's nobody I really want to sit down with for free over, $500,000. And he's correct. You listen to Jay-Z stuff, and I'm not a Jay-Z aficionado like a lot of people are. But I know in the 444 or 444 album, I think it was, he actually disclosed a lot of things, and certain community, we won't say who they are, they got mad because he made a reference to them, but he talked about buying some artwork back in the day, and then it increased in value by millions of dollars. So he has been giving people the game for a very long time.
Yeah, Jay-Z's a cool dude. Like, I always come to his defense when people go at him. I've only seen him once. I can't say I met him because you can't get close to him. And I was there with his folks. I was there with Nipsey Hussle at his release party, and no one can get near this dude. He keeps security everywhere. But, the people he had in the room are all businessmen, which, I can appreciate. And every time he speaks on business, I definitely think people should listen, when they get out of their feelings. And we can learn a lot from this dude, and we seem to be very forgiving of people that do crimes, kill, drugs, Saul became Paul. So, like, this is somebody that we can learn from. And him and his wife are like, they don't ever have to work again. The fact that Beyonce's still making music is something she obviously wants to do. They're staring at billions of dollars. And if you have a measly billion, at 5%, that's $50 million. That's a year. That's $1 million a week. Shit, I would work for 2 weeks and I quit. So, for them coming out too, they're exposing themselves, coming out and being, open to the media and the scrutiny and all this stuff. Like I said, I like Jay-Z. I like what he brings to the table. I would love, I listen to a lot of his music, and he does talk about what to do with the money. And he is, I would consider, a positive role model. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that is creating positivity. When you listen to a lot of his music, he does give you the answer, but then he can still do stuff like my favorite track, which is Monster. That was the bomb hits. So he can still be dirty, but he can come around with some good news.
I was just looking. They said that Beyonce, it says that she made $2.1 billion. Her tour netted that, I guess, $2.1 billion for the Renaissance tour that she just ended. So that's quite a bit of money. And I know, people who went, and they said those tickets were not cheap. Some people.
Yeah.
What did you play, Donna, to sit up high?
I went to Vegas because them tickets in LA were like $1,000
for nosebleeds, huh?
The same seat, it was $1,079, and that same seat in LA, same location, not in LA, in Las Vegas, was $279.
Wow!
I took that drive to Las Vegas for that seat.
Yeah. I know people who paid, quite a bit of money, because I was thinking about going here in Houston, but my daughter and I were waiting to, for the day before, the day of, to see if the tickets were going to drop, because in some places it did. Some people got them for next to nothing on the same day, but Houston being her hometown,
it wasn't happening.
No, it didn't happen.
So the cost of 2 tickets, hotel room, and I rented a car, gas was still cheaper than that 1 ticket in LA.
Yeah, and plus the outfit that you had, she wanted everybody to be in some metallic or silver or
Yeah,
something like that. Mm-hmm. Hello, everybody that came on here, Jason. Hello. And Angela. And Bright Star, how are you doing? Say, damn. And Brother Reggie say $1,000. Oh, yeah, some people paid more than that. And there was even people who said it was cheaper to fly to other countries to see her than to pay for some of the tickets here.
Yep.
So that's what they did.
Because what the challenge is here, and my daughter kind of broke it down for me. Ticketmaster is a monopoly here. And you have all of the resellers that buy up a bunch when they first come out, and they block off all these seats. So it drives the price up. So they're able to make, and resellers are not selling individual tickets, they're selling 2 or more. So that's why they're able to drop it the day of if they don't to unload it, because they've already made their money back from the, you know, the add-ons and the upcharge they've done for it. So, but yeah.
Yeah, concert tickets, and like Reggie said, he said, I remember seeing Luther in his prime for $35. Yeah, but that was most of us right back in the day. You could go get a good concert for cheap, and they didn't have all these fees, and because they looked at you over the, you know, telephone fee and all that other stuff, right? You just get your ticket and you go, but now you got to get the ticket, you got to pay for all the fees, and you got to pay for parking, which is almost the price of a ticket, you know, in some cases. And so the concert going experience is not what it was, but I just got through seeing Tony, and listen, for the California folks, let me tell y'all right now, they will be there November 11th. Y'all do not want to miss Tony. That, I mean, is the best one of, I would say it's in my top 3 concerts that I've ever been to. I went in Jacksonville this past weekend. When I tell you, y'all know that Dwayne Wiggins is 62. Raphael is 57 and Timothy is 57, and those cats look like they did in 1990. I mean, they moving around, singing like they have not. It's almost like they got frozen in time. I was like 62, and they still got it. But I'm telling y'all gonna regret it if y'all don't go. So if they go to y'all city or whatever, y'all better go. I was gonna go again here in Houston, but they sold out. So, but the tickets weren't that expensive, but a damn good concert. I recommend you guys go. Don't miss it. But do y'all have any questions in the comment section? Let's see. Black America says, Miss Donna, did you see any? He tripping. Did you see any straight men there, but by themselves without a female? He crazy.
Actually, I went. I took my girlfriend to see ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
to see Beyonce.
actually, there were straight men there.
I've seen Beyonce, but I saw her in LA
There were a lot of gay men there too, but there were straight men.
years ago. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it again. I'm gonna take my new chick to see karaoke.
Is it that bad, Walter? Is it that bad?
I'm trying to retire, man. Yeah, I don't know why people don't take retirement seriously.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Arniba, you say I remember seeing the Isley Brothers and New Birth for $10. And when was this?
I know. Ariba, she was.
It's a man. Arniba's a man.
Oh, how am I reading that? Oh,
Arniba.
well, he 102. I'm trying to remember. Isley Brothers, when did they come out?
Ooh, in the 60s, maybe 50s.
Before my time.
Maybe 50s.
$10 was a lot of money back then. 76. I was 7.
Did one of the brothers recently pass?
Yeah, Rudolph. Yeah, one of the brothers recently passed. I guess we didn't beat the whole Jay-Z conversation. I guess it was kind of a no-brainer, right?
But we should focus on more of his good stuff, because I know last week we talked about the conversation of him loaning his giving his cousin money. That had more traction in the media everywhere than this here, which is mind-blowing to me. Like, if I don't know, I'm thinking I may need to go out and buy some of his albums. If I'm somebody that's really into hip-hop and wants to learn, I would go out and buy some of his albums. I mean, you can get them online or whatever, however you do it now.
But this is the crazy part. And Black America, so you say you didn't answer the question. You talking about, did she see any straight men there but by themselves without a female? And thank you so much for the donation, by the way.
Men without a female. I don't know if they're straight or not, but I did see men there. I didn't do my own testing.
Donna said for the money she paid for that concert, she wasn't going to be seeing who was with who. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something. Oh, yes, Beyonce even has a movie. So she produced the concert, and the movie will be coming out, December 1st. So they eat more money, right? I know I won't be going on opening day.
But here's what people miss with that family, the Carters. They know how to make money. They know exactly how to make money. They brought their daughter out on that tour. That daughter got a check. She's an employee, so that's an expense for that business that they're writing off. They are setting up. Blue Ivy could never do anything ever again in life, and she's set just off of not her parents' estate, but the money that they've created for her.
They said Blue Ivy, and this is what Forbes is saying. Okay, let me see. She is worth, it says about 720 million to 800 million dollars. That's what Blue Ivy is worth. That's their 11-year-old daughter. So Blue Ivy, can I hold something?
She achieved billionaire status before she was 1 year old. Millionaire status before she was 1.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jesus, that's that's all right. But you know what though, I think it's a testament of what we all should be doing. I don't know if y'all heard about Nas. Nas put his daughter Destiny as an executive producer on Illmatic. His most iconic album, and she'll forever be paid. I mean, that's like one of the most iconic record albums ever on the planet. And he made her I think she wasn't even 1, maybe give or take, as an executive producer, and she will always draw royalties because he said, I wanted her to, if something happened to me or whatever, I always wanted her to, to have an income coming in. So maybe that's a question, we can ponder. Like, what does that look like for us? I mean, because I know a lot of times people think, oh, it has to be something grand, right? Like I got to go out and buy my 2-day-old a house, But so maybe we could talk about some things that people can actually do to start building wealth for their child, so that way when they're older, they'll have something.
Yeah, I mean, that's a more fun conversation. I know we'll lose a lot of people, but like, I know my parents. My mom was deceased, and my father is getting up there in age, and it'd be nice to, receive money, definitely. So I kind of think in my kids' shoes, what would they like? So yeah, you should leave them something, but you should also leave them the knowledge. My father taught me a lot about hustle and getting up early, waking up with the sun, and going to bed with the moon, and all that stuff. So so I can make my own money. Now I can give my kids knowledge and money. Like me and my son, we work together, and he made a comment to me. He goes, "Damn, Dad, I worked 20 hours in the last 3 weeks, and I made $3,000." I was like, you know what? I know I'm overpaying you, but I want you to see what it's like to make a shit ton of money. I want you to feel what it's like to have thousands and thousands of dollars just laying around, having no bills, no debts, no chick to dig in your pocket, all that stuff. And you sacrifice too, because when you give up to your kids, it is a sacrifice. Don will tell you, your kids will drive you insane, have you standing on a tall building trying to dive into a bowl of apple juice.
Not a bowl of apple juice.
Or apple sauce or whatever shit, I don't know. There's some cool, and it's cool too if you have your kids in your presence. And I know when you're richer, like Jay-Z and Nas, it's a lot easier to get your kids' attention. Because it's like, come on now, really? What else? Well, first of all, some of us should have started earlier. I wish I would have started earlier with my kids, like I was with my grandson Titus last night. And me and him, I set him down at like 3, and we watched Billions, episode 1, season 1. And I'm taking him through the whole 7 seasons. Wall Street, everybody looking at me crazy, but I'm just thinking, like, this kid and my other 3 grandkids, like me and August was in the car, he's 8. And I'm like, so, let's talk politics, let's talk chicks. You like chicks, right? If not, we'll work on it. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these parents be trying to influence their kids. But I had him for an hour, and I was like, business, this, that, what books you reading, da 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 da. So it's good to get them at a young age and teach them stuff.
And Brother Reggie said, first thing, life insurance.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing too, because you can get a baby insured at 10 days old and get it a policy that'll, what do you call it? It slipped my mind. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, cash value. You can put
Cash
money in.
value, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the question that we need to answer. Okay, let's say God forbid your number is called up. Okay, and the kid is now able to get the life insurance money. What do we teach them so that they'll keep it and invest it, opposed to, okay, mommy, left me $500,000 and now I'm just gonna go trick it off? Like, what do we teach them? What principles do we teach them to keep that money or to invest it or whatever they need to do other than blowing it?
I think each parent knows their child. So I got 3 daughters, right? And I know what to have in place for each daughter, because I know if they receive 200 grand, what's going to happen. I know one of them's going to hold on to it tighter than whatever. Another one's going to blow it so you have to put things in place for those kind of kids. When I write policies, I always tell people, if your kid is under 18, don't leave them as the beneficiary. You're creating a nightmare by doing that. Get a trust. If you don't have a trust, find a guardian to appoint until the child is 18. And even then, you want to kind of release that money very slowly to them. I do remember when I was in high school, this girl I was in school, she was 7. We were seniors at the time. She was 17. She had a brother that was 15, and both her parents died in a car accident. And they left her the house, and it was right before she turned 18. It was like a couple weeks before she turned 18. And they left her a house. They left her some insurance money, and she blew through that. I'm telling on myself, but she had the best hooky parties. She was having parties at her house, wasn't charging anybody, had stuff in there, was balling it out. And she turned 18 and she lived in, eventually that house she had to sell, and she blew through that money. And that's because her parents didn't give her a strong foundation of money and, what to do with it. And 2, they trusted her with a lot at a young age. And you add in the emotional component of that, we already make bad decisions when we're emotional. Now we're not financially, we don't have any financial acumen. So we're emotional and we don't have the knowledge. So it's a bad combination. So if you're going to have life insurance, put some parameters in place so that your kids, that money will last them a lifetime and hopefully will create some generational wealth for them.
Yeah, you can leave them you can type something up in writing. I left my kids, it's nuts, you don't have to do this, but this long manifesto, 32 pages. And the funny part is that manifesto.
Are they gonna read it? Are they gonna say, "Where's the part where they say where the money is"? How when people get a birthday card, they automatically open it to look at the money and like, I guess I better read it.
Well, no. What you do and what I do when me and my kids get together is we talk money. We talk politics, money, what to do, investments. They have, and I'm calling it a manifesto because it seems like when you're trying to get dumbass people, and I'm not talking about my kids, I'm talking about the people around them that influence them, trying to get people to do stuff. It's a joke, I left them this document in case something happened to me. And for the longest, just people just joke about it. I'm like, let me get this straight. You leave your kids instructions and the life insurance and money and assets, and that's a joke. So when I get with them, it's constantly, that's the conversation we have. My grandkids is what we talk about. You leave your grandkid with me, and we are talking money, finance, period, and protecting yourself. And for whatever reason, especially in our community, it's the last thing that we talk about. And it's, there's going to become a time, and the time's already coming right now because you see a lot of layoffs in technology. Today I took 2 Ubers, both of them Teslas, brand new Teslas. And both of them are like, oh, this is what I do on the side. I was selling forklifts and that started to get slow. And then the other guy was like, I was doing sales, but the company started using AI, so they start laying us off. Both of these cats in Teslas, good looking dudes, clean shaven, like ta-da, in Teslas, and Uber. And so these are people that are in sales and educated, like LinkedIn just laid off a zillion people, and Facebook, and like the times are changing. I think the next couple of years are going to be mind blowing for a lot of people who aren't ready. So it just makes sense to focus on the money. I'll give you a tip. Something I've been doing the last couple of days. I've just been really on this, financial tip. I've been telling everybody, like, my girl bought a car last year, 2023. Right? She paid, and she don't mind me telling you, she paid 50. She thought she paid 50 grand. I pulled up the contract. It was actually 55 with fees and everything, and her car payment is $781.
What kind of car she got?
Honestly, the little Ford Mach-E, the yellow thing. It's a nice car, electric.
What?
Mach-E, the Mach-E.
It's Ford, the little Ford. Don, I think you've seen it, the little yellow
Yeah, I
car.
saw it.
Yeah,
It's Ford's electric. It's a nice car. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice car.
it's
but
fire, but it
It's
ain't.
supposed to be Ford's. It's supposed to compete with the Tesla, but it's a nice looking car. It's not as fast, but yeah.
Nothing's compete with the Tesla. So one thing I said to her, I said, if me and you are going to be together, I'm going to need you to be on the money all day. When me and you, outside of sex and having movies and having dinner, we need to be talking money. Period. Otherwise, what's the point? So I was like, let me see everything. Bank statements, everything. Let's see where you stand. Here's what I got. And so she was under the impression she was paying about $6 something for her car. We looked it up. It was $781. I was like, damn. So we looked up the contract, looked up her everything. And so I was like, whoa, do you know what you're paying for this? She was, I really never just thought about it. I just went and bought the car. So she got a 2023 with 6,000 miles on it. So we went online and I looked and I said, that car next year is selling for 35, 40 grand. And she was like, damn. I said, that car in January will depreciate $10,000, $15,000, if not 20. Assuming Joe Biden doesn't get reelected, then it'll be worth 6,000. So what I had her do is we put it on CarMax, Carvana. We're putting it up for sale. She only owes 40 on it. So I'm like, we'll just get 40 and be out of it. Because like when you buy a car, it ain't like you get equity in it unless you hold it for 50 years and then it goes up in value. Mm-hmm. So we were getting rid of that car. Gone. And she listens, so it means she should be around. And so we're giving that car back. And I said, here's what we're going to do. I've told all you guys, we're going to go to Navy Federal, open an account. Boom. Go to them, Navy Federal, and this is how I bought my cars. They will cut you, and some credit unions will do it, but not all. Will cut you a check for a car without even seeing it.
Yep.
Like my Range Rover, and I've done this for several people. Bill, you give them a VIN number, like I can give them Donna's VIN number, and go to Navy Federal and say, Donna's selling me her car, and they will cut me a check for 125% of its value. So I said, okay, girl, what do you want? She goes, I want a Tesla with the wings that flap up, the big booty one. I said, okay, you got a big booty? You should have a big booty in the driveway. So we found this Tesla. We found one because I get it from the auction, the Model X, for around 30 grand. And so I said, it's probably worth 45, 50.
What year is it?
It's 2016. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get a car. She wants the X, so we may have some troubles because Tesla under 16 and under, you get the free supercharging for life, assuming that it transferred from an owner. So we're battling with that part of it. I'm trying to get her into a Model S, an older one that we can buy off the street or someone and transfer the the unlimited charging. But you know how women are. So she goes, I want that one. So that car we can get for about 30-ish is worth 50. I said, do you know they will give us $60,000 in cash against this Tesla? That's going to cost you 30. So I go, what we do with the 30? I said, I bought her daughter a little blue BMW. She wanted that, but you know me, I sold that shit today. It's gone. And I was like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that extra 30 grand and we're going to buy 2 Teslas. We're going to give your daughter one. So her daughter's 20. She's about to get a Tesla. And we're going to take one and put on Turo, park in front of your house, and you're going to rent that one out. So right now you're paying $800 a month. I said your daughter's going to give you $300 for her Tesla. So she's going to pay $300 of the $800, the new loan. I said, all you got to do is get $500 a month for a Tesla, rent it out for, 50 to $100. I said, in 5 to 10 days a month, your rental Tesla will pay for the rest of your car note, which means your Tesla is free. Period. You know what I'm saying? So she had an $800 car payment, and now her car payment is zero because her daughter and Turo is going to pay for all 3 Teslas. And when I said it to her, she was like, whoa. I said, I tell people this shit all the time. But that's a way to get rid of, and some of us have 800, 900, too. It's insane. But you take $800 a month and you invest that over a decade, 20, 30 years. I mean, like, I do the math. If you take $800 a month over 30 years at 12%, that is $2.8 million in her car payment. Now, she'd be 68. You know what I'm saying? But she'll be sitting on $3 million. How many people 68 have $3 million laying around? So just something simple like that can change your whole trajectory. You can do that with cars. You can do that with houses. I have my bedroom rented out, so that pays more than half of my cost to live here. Pays for half of it. So,
See, I'm like Arnibal. He says, I'm waiting for my 2003 Cadillac to go up in value. See, when you have a car that's paid off, it's kind of hard to look at getting another car payment. And so, yeah, I totally agree.
But see, that's the difference between poor people and rich people. The fastest way to build wealth is through leverage and finance. And if I was 12 years old and I was my father and I was telling myself what to do, here's what you do. This conversation I have with my kids. My son Evan does not have a car, but he's in a car right now. So he came to me, he's like, Dad, I want a car. I think he's been talking to his dumbass mama. So she wants, he was like, I should get my own car. I was like, don't listen to idiot broke people.
Okay, so wait. So fill me in here. Because if you don't have a car payment,
I'm talking about my son.
I know, but I'm saying you don't have a car payment. How is that broke mentality?
So what I'm saying is because you use finance to get rich. Let me give you a prime example. You worked at Chase, right? And here's one thing Chase does. And this is what I told my girl and a bunch of my friends. This week, I've just been on everybody that comes next to me. I told one of my friends, I said, you have $30,000 in the bank. We just went to Navy Federal and they gave you 20-something thousand dollars because she did what I just told her. She sold her car. Matter of fact, Donna, I think anyways, Donna knows what's up. We moved a couple ponds around. Donna's on the team. So hey, Bugs Bunny said, if you can't beat him, join him. So, but I was like, you borrow money from them, which is a good strategy, but all they've done is through the banking system is taking your money from the bank that they give you. The girl said we pay 0.01%. They've taken that money and loaned it to you at 9%. Now the strategy works, but what do we do with the $30,000? So she's using the leverage, the money she has left over from her car. She's put into starting a business, which is actually a phenomenal idea, the idea she came up with. But by her buying a car with Navy Federal, they gave her the overage and she used that to start a business. So her car payment is funding her car and her new business. So that's what I mean. If you think like, I have this phrase, it's called doing it like Diamond, like Jamie Dimon. Chase takes money, gives you 0.01% and loans it to your neighbor at 12, 20. I think I was watching CNBC. They were saying the average credit cards are going over 30%. That means even if I gave you 1% on your, let's say you had $1,000 in the bank and I gave you 1%, that's $10 a year on that money. For me to go out and get 30 times that, think about that for a second. Or at 0.01, what is that, 300 times? 3,000, I don't even know. But they go out and get 300 times on your own money. Even if you were getting 1% and they were making 10, you give them $1, they go out and make 9 on it and they go out and make 10, but give you $1 and they keep 9 on your own money. That is what I mean when I talk about rich people versus poor people, because you use leverage to make money. Not having a car paid off is cool, but what are you doing with the assets that you have? Rich people get rich, like you've seen Star Wars. Like they raised money to make Star Wars, and they used the profits to pay off the loan, and they kept the difference. You know what I'm saying? So that is how you build wealth in this country the fastest, from what I've seen. Right? Who are the richest people? Who's the richest black man in America right now that's popular? He's not as popular because he's a finance guy, Robert Smith.
Oh yeah.
He borrowed money from the public, reinvested it, he paid them, and he keeps a spread on billions of dollars. That's it. That's how he makes money. So these are some of the things you could do and teach your kids that way, because I know our kids are. They go, oh, Dad, I want that. I want this. I want this. I'm like, no, but you want that, but that's not going to help you long term. Right? You need to be moving that money and flipping it, especially with the way things are going right now. If you think you're going to have a job in 4 years, driving an Uber, doing something like right now, they're protesting about to burn the city down because of these driverless cars.
Yeah.
Uber has Waymo. Them and this other company that dragged the poor lady down the street with no human in it, just dragged her. So they're trying to shut that down, but Google's got Waymo, and those cars are already on the street. Those are Uber drivers who are losing their job. And don't think that once Google figures out Waymo, how to get those driverless cars, and we accept them, because we always do accept the new things. Like they said, the mark is coming, the mark of the beast. You're going to get marks here, and you're going to get carried. But now we carry credit cards. We can scan our phone at a checkout stand. Basically, we're inching closer to having a chip inside of us that says TD. That'll be $4. I think somebody already has that, don't they?
Yeah, it's in one of those Nordic countries. Is it Norway? I think it's Norway that they have the chips in.
Be like, you broke. Your arm ain't got no money.
When you see people kind of swiping their hand over, I guess, to make a payment. Is that the chip you're talking about?
I think it's good, but they use it for not only payments, they use it like access badges to their workplace. It's like a multi-purpose chip that does a lot. So basically they can leave their house and not have to take a wallet with them.
Yeah. Which lady friend you talking about? I got several of them. I mean, not like several, lady friends. I mean, like
probably talking about
friends
your
that are
lady
ladies.
friend, the lady friend you was talking about with the car and all of that.
I mean, I'm not gonna put her occupation out there, but she's an executive.
What do she do roundabout?
I mean, she's an executive in the medical industry.
Gotcha.
But your income, and the funny part is, like when I send people to Navy Federal, they ask for your income over the phone. They don't verify it. They go off your credit. So I'll give you an idea. You can make $50,000, but let's say you have a side hustle that is going to make you $40,000 this year. You could tell them that. I don't know how great that is, but like you have some flexibility.
Well, Navy Federal has their own internal credit scoring thing that they use outside. Mm-hmm. So they're not only they're looking at your relationships. So if you're going to try and implement one of these hacks Walter is talking about, make sure you have a relationship with them for at least 90 days. So the more relationships you have, the better. So if you have a checking and a savings, that's 2 relationships. If you have an IRA account or something, that's a 3rd relationship. If you have a credit card with them, that's a 4th relationship.
It does help. It does help to have a relationship. But Navy Federal is one of these banks. Is Navy Federal, like I sent my friend, opened an account in the morning, wired them $100, and they gave her a car. This was like 8 a.m. They gave her a car loan at 2:00 the same day. Mm-hmm. Navy Federal is one of the only banks that I've seen that will do that. There's probably some other ones out there too. And I don't know how long it's going to last. So
I don't think it's going to last that long, because you got YouTubers out here talking about Navy Federal hacks and how to.
They always do it. That's where I got it from. I got it from YouTube. So from the sister girl that's always on there.
The one
So
with the freckles?
yeah, the freckles, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, but you can do
In
that.
Sweden, yes. There we go.
Oh, is it? So yeah, I won't be going to Sweden, at least not staying. So you could do this with real estate. You could do it with so many things. So that way, what you do is by creating leverage, you actually get rid of your expenses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I wanted a Range Rover, and then I was like, I don't know. So when I finally bought one, I bought it with the intent to put it on Turo. So, they said, oh, it's worth 45. I got it for 30. They was like, we'll give you almost 60. And so I was like, I'll take it. And so I used that 60 to buy 2 cars. And then my Range Rover put it on Turo for 200 to 250 a day. So, which means the Range Rover wasn't costing me no money.
Mm-hmm.
I did the same thing with my S5, my Audi, which I rarely have. I don't have it right now. Somebody else is driving it as we speak. But I use the money from that to do other things with it. And so you guys could do those things. And what that does is give you the ability you create leverage. You can create other businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I always say, you guys get you a piece of land. I know it sounds silly, corny to keep saying it, but like, I really think when the stuff hits the fan, if you own a piece of property, you have a water source and some solar panels, and you have a couple animals and some fruit trees or whatever you're going to eat, you can put an RV on your land, and you can have peace of mind. And I see doing this is a lot of people. Matter of fact, my friend, not the girl I'm dating, but the girl I was talking about, she was almost at 150 a year, quit her job, and is bought an SUV, and is going to travel the country with her son and hit campsites and regroup and learn how to live off grid. She's a scientist, an ecological scientist, so she sees some stuff that most people doesn't. She quit her job to go do exactly what I'm talking about. Get some land, go learn what's going on. She really thinks something's about to hit the fan.
Just facts, not feelings. Yeah, all the car loans. His comment there. I do agree with that. And I was telling Walter the other day, I was watching something, someone was reporting on the automotive industry and the used car market. And they went to a CarMax lot on a Saturday at 12 noon, and there were only 2 people on the lot. And that lot was filled. There were a lot of cars on that lot. And if you go back 2 years ago, I don't know if you remember, you went to a car lot, there was like a car parked there, and then like 50 feet, there was another car. They were spreading them out, trying to make it look full, and that's not the case now. So a lot of repossessions are slowly increasing right now.
But that's a good thing for people like us.
Yeah.
See, and I want to be facts, not feelings. I want to be clear, because sometimes we take the baby and we throw it out with the bathwater. The finance is totally separate from the car. You can do this with chicken nuggets. You can do this with horses. I don't care. If you can borrow money against something and take money from it and make wealth, then that's the key. It doesn't matter what you have to separate the item. So I'll give you an idea. You go out and you borrow $100,000 against 2 cars, and you start a business with it, and the car industry goes out of business, but you're holding the cash. Isn't that a better position? It's like somebody that bought their house and refinanced the hell out of it and pulled all the cash out, and then the market crashed and they had to do a short sale. Do you know what happened to all that money? You got to keep it.
Yeah.
If you short sold your house in 2008, they weren't clawing back the cash you took and sent to Ethiopia, Africa, to Mexico to invest, or you started a taco stand. They didn't come after that money. So if the asset blows up, but you have the cash from it, that is the best case scenario. So don't confuse the asset with the strategy, because a lot of times we do that. We got to get rid of the propaganda stuff. You take the money and you move. Donna, you remember Gulf Oil? Remember the big G?
Yep.
T-Boone Pickens, the leverage buyout. I love your business. I'm going to borrow money against your business, take out a loan against your business, and I'm going to use the income from your business to pay that loan off.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the leverage buyout. It's the best thing since sliced bread. I love your business. If you follow Cody Sanchez on YouTube, is the business. She is a godsend. She talks about how she bought a laundromat, went to the owner and said, I want to buy your laundromat, but what I want you to do is carry the finance. I'm not going to give you a check. I'm going to buy the laundromat, but I'm going to use the income from the quarters and all the laundry stuff, and I'm going to use that money and I'm going to pay you off. It's called seller financing.
Mhm.
You buy a business and they loan you, you pay them off with the money from the business that they just sold you. It is brilliant. So those are the things you could do to really set you up. You know what I'm saying? You could do that with car washes, laundromats. More people are going to laundromats because you know what's happening is they are now moving from houses to apartments so they can afford them. If you've noticed, there's apartments being built everywhere. That's not by accident. That's by design.
Mhm.
So you follow the money, but the fastest way to do that, like for instance, when you buy a house, how do you buy a house? Do you save up for it? No. You go to a bank and you borrow money to buy the house, and you hope that the house grows in value so you can pay the loan off one day along with your income.
So here's touching on what Walter said. Cash businesses over time, laundromats, car washes, and if you've been into a laundromat recently, they're kind of getting away from coin systems, and
Oh yeah.
you have to get a card. And here's the thing about that. I kind of equate it to if you ever lived in New York and had to get a Metro card, you'll understand that you get a Metro card, you load it up with some money, and then you go home, it gets left in a pocket, you can't find it, you're going to work the next day, you buy another Metro card, and you load it again.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
And it's the same with gift cards. You send a gift card, you spend some money, you forget about it, you don't spend it. And the whole premise is based off of that. It's Starbucks is like one of the biggest banks out there for that reason. The whole gift card thing. People buy these gift cards and they don't redeem them. And it's a way for companies to get your money, use your money before you ever use your money. And sometimes you never use your money. So that's just another avenue of, your business and gaining capital is putting systems in place where you can leverage someone's money from your business before they're ever going to need to use it.
Donna, that's a good idea. We're gonna have some gift cards.
I told you that a long time ago. I told you that.
I have a stack of gift cards from Target, Walmart, from a steakhouse, and they're just sitting in my drawer with $10, $12, $6 on them. That is money that Target collected and they never have to pay on. Because by the time I go to, I forgot my $6 gift card. But that times $1 million? Oh, hell to the no.
Here's the other thing. Like, my sister used to send my kids like American Express or Visa gift cards. And what people don't know is once you initiate that first transaction, you have a certain period of time before they start charging a monthly fee, deducting a monthly fee off of that gift card. So you have a $50 gift card, you spend $35 of it and you forget about it. Pretty soon, 5 months, 6 months later, the card is depleted because they have a $2.95 monthly fee attached to the gift card. So
one of the other ways, Brother Reggie, going back to how to, help your children obtain and keep wealth. He had to leave, by the way. So thank you for being here. Cosmo said that website doesn't work. Does he have another way to view the candles? Yeah, our website is not working.
We took it down because we're having to rebuild it.
Well, then you might want to take that off of your name.
I put that up there.
It was even up there. We're having it redone to look like I ain't gonna say like who, but
I'm gonna do it. But you can check him out on his Instagram page, Lit Candle Company.
Yeah, Donna's my CEO. I mean, ask her that question. I'm so tired of Shopify.
Wait, yeah. So on Instagram,
Do we need to have a conversation about having websites working?
Yeah. So everyone that's watching, the Instagram is lit_candle_company. And that's on Instagram. So go ahead and like. And while if you're watching on YouTube, anyone that's watching right now, we're going to take a moment of silence. We're going to hit like and subscribe to Demetra's channel. If you have not hit the like button yet, please do hit the like button. If you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Please turn on your notifications so when she goes live, you get notified. So
And hit that money button. I think they have a cash button that you and YouTube get to split.
and we're going to do like church, and we're going to pass the collection plate, and you're going to go ahead and hit that little $sign there so you could make a contribution to the channel.
It's so nice to have money people on the channel because I be forgetting. I ain't gonna lie. I just be, hey, how y'all doing today?
No, we need money to keep things moving. You can't walk into a church without. I mean, you can, but they're gonna look at you funny. And hey, Cosmo, I want to address your comment. That strategy I was talking about, you don't do with new cars. It doesn't work.
We're gonna go back to facts not feelings. So you talking about this one here?
Yeah, you can. Oh, yeah, you can't do this with new cars. I have not bought. Thanks, Mike. I have not bought a new car, and the last time I bought a new car was my ex-wife in 2002 or 3. Remember that the gray Sequoia we had, and then I bought her the white one, and then left her like 2 weeks later. But still, that's the last time I bought a new car. They depreciate like rocks.
They do.
My girl's car she paid 50-something thousand for it. We see them at the auto auction in the 30 grand for the year before. I said, that's going to be you next year. So no, it doesn't work with new cars. You buy things that depreciate. I call it dodged depreciation. You dodge it and you pick it up after it's depreciated a little bit. And that's just, I'll give you an idea. My Range Rover is a 2015. I bought it 2 years ago for 30 grand. It was worth 45. I can buy that Range Rover right now for $19,000. Supercharger with 90,000 miles on it. For $19,000, I can buy my Range Rover. I was so irritated, and I waited years to buy it. So the point I'm making is you buy things after they've depreciated. And there's a sweet spot with the used car because a bank will loan you, like if you can get a good deal on it, the bank will give you money against its value. So if you're good at buying things cheap and you can then borrow money against what it's really worth, you can really set yourself up. So I don't know much about LLCs. I don't mess with those.
I could answer that question.
I thought of the Tape method in the beginning.
So if you have an LLC and you want to take, I'm guessing that's what you're asking. You have an LLC and you want to take a loan from Navy Federal to start your car business, you can do that. You have to have an existing relationship, a business account tied to your LLC, and you can take a loan, a business loan from that. So I hope that answers your question. But yes, to answer your question, yes.
Yeah, I don't. The repair bills on the Rover are suicidal. I mean, I got my I had a hose leak, I had water leaking from somewhere. It cost me $2,200, and I still smell water. I mean, it just Range Rovers and BMWs. They just, But for me, I mean, I bought my Range Rover in good condition. I'm in the car business, but and I maintain. I change the oil every 1,000 miles. You do things to keep your stuff up. But if you have a Range Rover, you will have suspension fault. That's intimate, right? And Range Rovers, like BMWs, are notorious for oil leaks. But I bought the Rover, one, because it was one of the safest cars in the world. And it does 162 miles an hour because I need to run from the police. I can get moving. So, but the used cars do have issues. But the main reason I bought the Range Rover, one, is when I pull up wherever I'm at, people ask me 0 questions. I could have $4 in my pocket and pull up in my Range Rover to a meeting, and people automatically go, oh, okay, he obviously, because they look at the outside, he obviously knows what's up. You'd be surprised how many doors it's open. It's like having a nice suit. You have a decent car, whatever it is, you keep it clean. And then I knew because Range Rovers depreciate so fast that the bank would loan me so much money against it in that sweet spot. So, like right now, if I went to Navy Federal, they look at me funny because my car's not worth nearly what it was 2 years when I bought it. So I don't get stuck on the expenses. I didn't buy. See, you guys, we have to separate our thinking from the Bernie Sanders method or some of these cats. We have to start. Don't hate me, but it is what it is. We have to start thinking like Donald Trump and even Hunter Biden. We need to start thinking like those cats. Say what you want about Hunter, he's a piece of whatever, but those guys are moving so much money, we can't even track the money. How are you president of the United States and your son has so many funny businesses? He's still walking the street.
Because he's the president's son.
I know, but I'm just saying we need to start thinking like that. Like, yeah, tires are expensive. And I buy used tires for my Range Rover. They're $50 each for used run flat tires. So I'm paying $200 to put tires all the way around. You know what I'm saying? You can buy a new tire for $200-300. Or you can go buy a tire that's for 50%. You know what I'm saying? You do the math. It works out to buy them used. You do things like that to keep your stuff up. So separate from, you had a sob. Lord have mercy. I pray for you. But you separate the strategy from the asset. That's it. I don't care. Range Rovers, they break down, they do. But what's not breaking down is almost the $60,000 they gave me to reinvest in other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've done this with cars. I'll give you a prime example. Some of you know that I was in Texas real estate. I took some of that money from my Rover and me and my son bought real estate together. Just a quick flip, put 50 grand in each of our pockets. So you can use things like that to build wealth. You have to separate from the maintenance and all this other stuff. Because every time I tell people, get a used, like you can buy a used 2016 Mercedes CLA right now for like 15 grand, 10 to 15 grand. 2016 Mercedes, 10 to 15 grand at an auto auction. Or catch somebody on the street that just lost their job who paid off their car the Dave Ramsey way without using proper leverage, and now they're trying to get rid of it. So you want to think, where else can you move money like that? Cars depreciate, and sometimes you can use that sweet spot, leverage them. I could care less about what happens to my Range Rover. I mean, I'm going to maintain it, but dang, what am I doing with the money? So many of us, we separate, we take the good part and we throw it in the trash. I don't care what kind of car you buy, it's going to break down. Period. Don't matter. But, like I was telling my girl, we can put your daughter, and I don't want to do this, but if I can spend 10 to 15 grand and get her in a 2012-13 Tesla, she can drive that, make the payments, and we can use the leverage to, because what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to get her to quit her job. She wants out of her job. Been there 19 years. She's like, I'm done. I want to do something different with my life. It's stupid that I go to work all day to make whatever she makes. I can wake up early, get my hustle on, and I can make that and be done by 1 p.m. It just makes sense. So by getting rid of her $800 car payment, boom, that takes a good chunk of her expenses away. We cut expenses. No more Dispass. You're going to Knott's Berry Farm, not anymore. Boom, cut that out. Go outside and climb a tree and swing down. There's a ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start cutting your expenses, before you know it, you have freedom. So, facts, not feelings. Thanks for the money. $20 divided by 3 ways. What is that? Whoop-de-whoop. That's 6. Actually, I don't see none of it.
Actually, 4 ways, because you two gonna get theirs first.
Yeah, no, I don't need to see it. But so the things I just mentioned, you guys, you could have good credit and have no money in the bank, and tomorrow have 10, 15 grand in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, people do it all day. That's why the number one thing you do with your finances is you build your credit first. Period. It's the number one thing you should do is build your credit. Because with credit and no money, you can go out, borrow money. Like, for instance, let's say you have great credit and you go to B of A, you go to 10 banks and you take out loans, you apply at the same time. And let's say they give you $50,000. on credit card debt. You can take that $50,000 and you could put down and start businesses. You can buy a piece of property. You could leverage it. You could buy land and put stuff on it. Like my neighbors in Joshua Tree, one of my neighbors has this thing called Hip Camp. It's a website where you can rent your land out to RV people. And people that they'll pay $40, $50 a night to sleep on your property with their tent and their RV. I went to her house one day. She had 4 RVs and a bunch of tents. Old white lady. She must have been 75. I go, what in the hell are you doing? She goes, every single person over there is paying me blah, 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 $30, $40, $50, $60 per night to rent my yard. And I'm just going, she's like, they are paying my mortgage. I'm living here for free on a piece of land she don't even use. How many of you guys have land or space in your house that you don't even use? That is where you start building wealth. Like my girl, we're looking at getting her a new house. It's kind of out of her financial range a little bit, what she wanted to pay. But by getting rid of her car note, it put her in range. And I was like, having the Tesla on Turo, that will help pay for it. And then there's other things you could do. You got an extra bedroom. You live next to the airport. Do you know how many nurses and people flying that need a room for a couple nights? Ta-da! There's more money. You got space in your backyard. You can put a tiny home back there. You can buy it from Home Depot and rent it out for $12, $15. Some people are paying $2,000 a month to live in a casita. Another one of my friends, we went to IKEA, and you guys could do this. Decorated her house. We spent $200, bought some pillows, new white sheets, the ones that you see every property I'm in. I have white sheets. IKEA, they're like $30, $40. Somebody is giving her $1,200 a month. Her and her daughter are staying in this room for $1,200 a month. Do you know her mortgage is only $2,250? And she's in a 4-bedroom. So half of her mortgage is paid by a lady that's paying this in a room that downstairs with her own. She won't even see this lady because she works crazy hours. So now her mortgage is cut in half. It's insanity how many things you could do to make, it's like I told my girlfriend, I said, she wanted a 2-bedroom. I said, no, stop thinking like that. Get you a 3 or 4 bedroom and let's find a source of income to pay for the other 2 bedrooms, because $200, $300, $400 will separate you from a 2-bedroom to a 3 and a 4. So you can use that 3rd bedroom, even if you Airbnb it, and you can dictate, who stays with you. That bedroom on the Airbnb can help pay for 2 or 3 bedrooms. Now, instead of a 2-bedroom, you have a 3 and a 4.
So here's another add-on. Let me add on to the whole, because you mentioned land. Outside of having someone come to pitch a tent, here's what a lot of developers do when they purchase land, is that they get it zoned agricultural. They have a farmer come in, bring their cows or whatever to graze. And when your land is zoned agricultural, it reduces your property tax obligation. In the state of Florida, I believe it's like you pay no property taxes on agricultural land. In California, it's anywhere between 40 to 75%, depending on what county you're in, a reduction in your property taxes. So if you get a piece of land and you have some kind of note on it, or you don't, you still have property taxes. One way to reduce that, work out something with the farmer, have them bring a couple of cows on the land to graze. It's zoned agricultural, or put up some citrus trees or some peanuts or whatever you're growing. Put something up there and zone it agricultural so you can reduce your tax obligation on that property.
That's good advice. Don, I've heard that before, but hearing you say it is better. I'm telling you, man, you got to get you some animals. If you eat red meat and you eat cheese, I'm telling you, you got to get somebody to clean up the doo-doo, because that ain't going to be me. But I'm telling you, the farmer is in the perfect position, assuming Monsanto doesn't blow up the shop. Man, like you think about, just imagine this for 1 second. You walk out and you see your food source. The land I have, we're looking at putting avocados and pomegranate trees on it, and so, tomatoes and some things on it. A couple small animals. The funny part is when you have small animals on your property and you have an Airbnb, people want to stay there and play with the animals. Now, little do they know that's going to be food, but that ain't for them to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a buddy of mine who is, he's wealthy. Him and his family, they have a bunch of chickens. And he said to me, Walter, each chicken lays an egg a day. And when you go to the rest of the store, you see grass-fed, pasture raised. He goes, we can't prove that. Some people consider grass-fed, even though, or grain-fed, even if the chicken is in a cage and he's sitting there with 40 million chickens and he's eating grain, or he's eating grass, he's still grass-fed, even though his condition is off. So he goes, my chickens are truly pasture raised. They lay an egg a day, and I know where my food is coming from. Because he goes, chicken is the worst thing you could eat. Chicken by far is worse than beef because you don't fry beef. Beef don't sit there in the cage all stressed out, crapping all over each other's head, and eating each other's feathers. You know what I'm saying? Like, chicken is one thing I don't do unless I'm drinking and I'm drunk out at a Buffalo Wild Wings killing myself.
Yep, don't eat it.
I mean, chicken is the worst thing you could do. Anyways, I ain't gonna get into chicken. But the point I'm making is my buddy is rich and he has his own food source and he don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if rich people are doing this, like another guy worked with Monty Holmes at WFG. We went to his house, and you ever see those big water towers that's on the hill? He has one. I'm talking those giant water towers. You see them all over the mountains. He goes, that's enough water for my family for 6 to 12 months if stuff hits the fan. And we have he has a garage with just food in it, just food. I'm like, my God. He goes, Walter, money will not do shit for you. If the world we run into problems, it's not going to do anything for you having money, because money can disappear. Like, I got a notice from Wells Fargo saying that my deposits, they made a mistake on my deposits and had to recorrect and give me a credit. That is just the beginning. The government's talking about turning Bitcoin currency. Can you imagine, like, the US government has control of Bitcoin? Like you want to give people that can't even run the country control of our only currency and make it digital where it has to go through them? You better get you some cows, some lambs, whatever you eat. Yeah, I sound one of those internet wackos.
So Block Legend 7 asked the question, how do you get around those politicians? Show up at those city council meetings. Get in their face. Yeah, show up to those meetings and challenge them, have questions to pose at them. Let them know that you're one of their constituents. I show up to a lot of meetings. I'm an independent, and I let them know that I'm an independent. What are you going to do for my vote? Here's my issues. What are you going to do? And show up. I vote at every single election, midterms, everything, because they do. They look at your voting history. Nobody can tell me they don't. They look at your voting history.
Oh, yeah, they do. And Black America, thank you so much once again. You say my chickens eat all the bugs on the property, and do you eat the chickens? Or like, what's going on here?
I mean, yeah. When you think about what your food eats, Lord have mercy, you are what your food eats. That's why I don't eat pork. You want to wean off pork? Go to a pig factory and see. Ooh, I went to, because I used to go, and I took my kids there, and they're like, that lamb right there is in a little bit is going to be in your backseat, cut up into many pieces, of course. And I was like, it's cool knowing where your food is coming from. You can see how they eat. That's really one of the only ways to buy food, right? So you are what your food eats. And you guys really, man, I wish I had this. When you look at your food, I don't know if I still have it. I'm gonna dig in the trash. Don't look at me funny. But I bought, you know what? I don't know if, I do have it. I guess I'm digging in my, I don't have it, but I bought this thing of organic greens. It says organic soup, split pea, greens. It was like, beautiful organic. And when I flip it over, it had 24 grams of sugar in this organic green soup. 24 grams of sugar. And 560 milligrams of sodium times 4. So whatever that is, enough one thing of soup is all the sodium you're supposed to have in one day. It had 24 grams of sugar, which is the maximum for a human being. 24 grams. And that's just the soup, not to mention the cake and the stuff and all the other stuff you eat. The point I'm making is if you really think about your food source, it is one of the reasons why we are overweight, we are sick, and blah, blah, blah. Our kids, think about this. When you're kids, we were kids, did we have mental illnesses?
I'm sure we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But we did
One
something.
kid.
they gave us Robitussin for it.
But we did stuff about it. Our food source was better in 1971 than it is in 2021, or was in 2021. It's the kids, I guarantee you. Their eyesight, their weight. When I was in school, we had a fat kid in school. We all know who the fat kid was. We had 1, 2. Like we had a freak. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's totally changed.
Oh, yeah.
Right? If you watch this, there's a good Diary of a CEO. He's a brother from UK. He is brilliant.
Yep.
If you don't follow his channel,
Stephen
follow.
Bartlett. Yep.
Stephen Bartlett is the truth. Brother from the UK. I watch his stuff religiously. He had a guy on the other day that talked about in 1970, they went to fat free, and the obesity took off. You could see it, the chart just raised when they got rid of fat. They made everything fat free. What they didn't do is they didn't make it sugar free. It's not fat that makes you fat. You're better eating a grass-fed stick of butter every day on your food. Doing that versus engulfing sugar. So the point I'm making is you need to know where your food source is coming from. Like people ask me, Walter, when the hell do you get all this energy? How do you work all day and sleep 3 hours and keep moving? It's your food source. You want to get your money straight? Clean up your food. And here's another thing too, why we own it. And I told my girlfriend that she hates me for it, but she's going to be better for it. I said, stop drinking coffee. You're going to drink coffee, do it like you do your men, black. You know what I'm saying? Don't put nothing in it. That was a joke, by the way. You know that was funny. No, don't, because when you break your fast, you realize when you wake up in the morning, your body's burning fat. The minute you break your fast, fat burning shuts off. So people go, I'm not losing weight. Well, because when you wake up, your body is burning fat. When you sleep, it burns fat. And when you wake up, you're in fat burning mode. You take a sugar and put in your coffee or a creamer, the fast is broken. Fat burning goes, everybody go home. She don't want to lose weight. We're going to gain a couple pounds today. So stop breaking your fast in the morning. You don't need to eat in the morning. It's when your body creates the most energy. But most of us shut the factory down by eating, even coffee, this cream and sugar will break your fast. Like go to a Starbucks and look in the cars of the people that are there.
This question here, Cecilia, if I didn't already, how you doing? He says, what do you guys think of the new Speaker of the House? So you're talking about Mike Johnson. He's a Republican. They call him MAGA Mike, from what I understand. He was at the helm of the insurrection, was trying to overthrow the election results and all of that. I guess it really just remains to be seen at this point. He says that he is going to try to, work with both sides of the aisle. Of course, I guess they're trying to get 12 spending bills passed. He said he's going to, try to rule on the side of fairness. But again, that all remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But,
they're just getting ready for Trump to come back. That's all. I mean, they lined up with Trump. Trump is going to be our next president unless he goes to jail or something like that. It's a wrap. So they're going that direction. I was actually excited. I heard the brother, I can't remember his name, Donald or something like that. I mean, Donald's the brother that was running for speaker. He made that dude was on point.
You mean Hakeem Jeffries?
Huh?
Hakeem Jeffries?
No, he's a brother.
On the Republican side?
Republican brother. His name is Donald. Or I heard him yesterday. Bright dude. Laid it out. And then AOC went after him. Of course, she went after the only black man running for Speaker of the House. That's a whole nother subject.
Well, Hakeem Jeffries was, but he's a Democrat. So that's probably why she went after.
Black people, stop doing that to each other. Like we're adult enough. to let a black person be a Republican, not eat their lunch every time. Come on now, this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny. And I was a Democrat. I'm not recovering like Donovan, but I was a Democrat for a long time. I remember meeting Al Gore and shaking his hand in Los Angeles. I was that dude rushing the front to shake Al Gore's hand. But as I got more educated in finance and like really caring about my family and being responsible for what happens to them, I moved to the middle, and then I ended up on the right. Who knows? Maybe I'll go back to the middle. But we have to start letting each other think. However we think, long as we have the same goal in mind. So, but to answer your original question, I don't know nothing about the dude they elected. If
The
he's
jury's still out on him for me. I saw him at a rally, and a reporter actually posed that question about his role. And he had someone off to the left of him and started booing the reporter, and the crowd started, Donald's from Florida, started booing. And I didn't like the way he handled that situation. He kind of let the crowd take control of it rather than saying, making a statement, whether it's BS or not, trying to control the situation. He did nothing to do that. So,
yeah, like you said, it all remains to be seen. But Walter, I know you have to get out of here. It is at the hour and a half mark. So we're gonna let Walter go do what he's got to do. But we'll be back here on Sunday with Donovan. So once again, we love and appreciate every last one of y'all for being here on Wealth Wednesday. I know it was kind of, in a little small setting, but that's fine. I don't mind small. But anyway, so Donna and Walter, I thank y'all for being on here. I know you all are very busy and got a lot of things to do. So thank y'all for taking the time to do that. But in the meantime, you guys, we will see you guys on Sunday. I'll be back here with Donovan. We love you too, Cecilia. Peace.
All right.
Bye-bye.
bye.
I see you.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. We should keep it like that.